Execute Order 66.
Welcome to your feature presentation, the podcast where we bring you the latest and greatest movies in pop culture. It is episode 66, Execute Order 66. So
Let's go.
kill all your Jedi.
They fly now?
They forgot. Have you seen the clip of John Boyega when he's like,
They've literally always been flying. They've jetpacks since the Clone Wars.
yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
it's like, well, maybe they forgot. It's like, they've been flying since the Clone Wars. Oh,
Yes.
gotta love a fan. I do think, we rat on the sequel trilogy a lot, but they did John Boyega dirty. They really did. I think they really set him up as a Jedi and as a very prominent figure. And I think I don't know where it got derailed. I mean, I think The Last Jedi subverted some expectations. Let's say that.
Hey, yeah, let's say that.
It was the weirdest thing. I just remember all the PR, they were so psyched that it subverted expectations.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, hey, I made you a chocolate cake. Just kidding, it's vanilla. I subverted your expectations.
Yeah, you're like, I'm allergic to vanilla.
Oops, jerk, I'm allergic to vanilla.
You idiot. I think that despite your opinion about the sequels and if they will age well like the prequels did and become beloved, I'm open to that, whatever. But what you cannot get around is that the prequels have poor dialogue writing. That is a fact.
Yep.
And the sequels did not use their star actors to their full potential as far as the written characters. I think that will remain a fact. The music's terrific. It looks really great, and there's a high potential it will age really well. But John Boyega, even I almost said Ridley Scott, Daisy Ridley, and Oscar Isaac, just underutilized.
Yeah,
which is weird because they're the literal main characters.
Well, yeah, and they didn't have the three together. It's like Oscar Isaac, Daisy Ridley, John Boyega. That was your three. Just
they were almost never
about them. They were never together. They basically the original thing was they were killing off Oscar Isaac's character after the crash, and they realized how good he was. As if you're surprised that it's
they just
Oscar
learned
Isaac, and it's
on set they were like, oh, he's a good actor.
This guy's actually he's pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. I do think that is one of the more frustrating things about it is the bones were good. And I still think the Force Awakens has some flaws, but it would have been a great first. And I think they were headed in a good trilogy direction. So I
agree.
I always go back to oh, I wish they would have changed this, but you can keep the Force Awakens just the same. It just needed to not subvert expectations. We needed a hero Luke in the second one, and you needed, some other tweaks, of course, but I don't know. Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, look at us getting Star Wars off topic. Classic us.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, we're having fun. Today we got a really fun episode. We're going to talk a lot about the Narnia movies coming out. This has been a long time coming. They are coming out in 2026. So we have a lot going on there. But first, we're going to start with some wide releases we're really excited about this coming fall. It's got my name all over it. And
hey.
Why, that's funny. Good job for you. So
thanks for listening, Dana.
Thanks for listening, Dana. And for Justin, I'm talking about your wife. So go ahead.
Yeah.
It's a little deep there. Yeah, I was talking to Justin Gill from the Doodads today, and the joke is that my sister, and his wife have the same name. We joke that they're the same person. They're not.
Potentially the funniest thing
I've never met his wife
on the internet. Oh, well, all right.
So
who's to say? It could be your sister.
Yeah, it could be. Twist of all twists. So I'm just going to run down quickly what we're kind of excited for, and then Andrew's going to break it down a little bit for us. First thing we're excited about is Tron Ares, which has come out, and so we do have some preliminary reviews of that we're going to go over. The Witcher Season 4 is coming out the 30th. The Running Man is coming out November 14th. I'm really excited about that. I'm going to break that down. Predator Badlands, November 17th. And then Fallout Season 2, December 17th. And then we got Stranger Things. Kind of scattered throughout. There's some blocking, right? There's Thanksgiving and then there's Christmas and New Year's. So, Andrew, why don't you take us through Tron Ares? What are they saying?
Totally. I mean, at the point of recording, has not released yet. We're just a few days shy. However, early reviews are super negative. Shocker. I think, Heath, you're a pretty big Tron fan. I'm a casual Tron fan. I've seen the original. I saw Legacy. Legacy was pretty fun. But I, for some reason, am not a Jared Leto fan. And so most of these reviews are like, hey, how does Jared Leto keep getting acting gigs for like major leading roles in these huge franchises? Because everything he touches just dies so hard. So I would love your thoughts. Maybe we can revisit later when you've seen it.
Yeah.
But the preliminary reviews are very poor.
Well, Jared Leto, real quick. Yeah, I keep thinking, I mean, what do you think about with him? You think about his awful Joker, which is like, okay, that's one way, whatever. But
Morbius.
Morbius. I didn't love him in Blade Runner, and it is kind of an interesting thing. It's like, yeah, when do they say, oh, maybe it's the actor? Like, I don't know why. As studios seem so quick to kill franchises, but not actors. And I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
It's like, to me, if you're like, you lose millions of dollars on anything or billions, whatever, it seems to be like, okay, let's cut everything. That would seem like a natural human response to me. But then I don't understand this. We're going to keep this actor going, even though, like, have they produced, and no one likes them?
No, potentially.
I don't know.
And it's like, it is weird because you don't want, like, every actor has had several bad movies, right?
Yeah.
So you don't want to just be like, oh, you had a bad movie, now you're out. You don't get to act anymore.
Right.
But there's got to be something, right? Like, it could be his agent. Like, maybe Jared Leto's agent is bad. I don't know. I don't know the actual details. But it's been so long. I couldn't tell you a single movie where Jared Leto was in it, and I was like, that was great.
Yeah.
He did an amazing job. Sorry, Jared.
It seems weird. So for me, I will say I really enjoy Tron Legacy, but to me, it's all about the vibe. It's all about the visual. Yeah. It's the music. It's here.
Heath is grabbing something
for our.
Vinyl.
Yeah, so I got the vinyl sound.
So Sam Flynn, correct? Is from the Tron Legacy.
Yeah,
Sam Flynn. Okay.
So look at that. Look at that beautiful.
Oh, that's a gorgeous baby blue vinyl for Flynn's whole soundtrack. Yeah. Tron Legacy.
Daft Punk. It's one of those cool things, like the band did all of the soundtrack. They make a cameo in the movie. The movie, I would say, story-wise, is just kind of okay, but it's all about the vibes. It's about the visuals. It's a fun journey that they go on. So I say that too with, like, I love it, but I totally know it's just this campy, kind of ridiculous, colorful mess. You know what I mean? It's not like someone's like, dude, that movie sucked. I'd be like, you're kind of right.
Okay.
But it's like, so to me, and that's the one you have before this one. To me, this one never looked exciting, Tron Ares, because one of your jokes that I love so much, it says we went from Daft Punk, very in this digital world, makes total sense, and they went with 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah.
And you were like, who's doing the soundtrack on this one? Five Finger Death Punch? And it's like, it does feel like that. Like 9 Inch Nails, I'm sorry, is more like bro rock, And it's just like, Daft Punk is just such a different level. Even if you're like, I can see.
And they were perfect.
They were perfect. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. So that was a struggle for me. Don't really like Jared Leto. And one more thing on him is the joke has been it's the only poster where he's like reaching, and like all the Tron posters have been like
Mhm.
it's like the guy reaching, and then there's always like a girl like next to
Yeah.
that main character. And this one, it's just Jared Leto, and like the joke is because no girl would stand next to him. They weren't like they were uncomfortable standing next to Jared Leto.
I'm not doing that.
And also the thing that I loved about the first one, you take away the music, you're not in the digital world. You're mainly on Earth, and it's just like ships like flying around New York, city
Mhm.
skyline. And that just feels like what we're getting so much of. Like digital has become so cheap. It feels like every blockbuster movie has spaceships flying around
Yeah.
the big city.
It's
And it's
not
like,
exciting.
yeah. And so I'm just like, this to me, I was like, I have zero desire to see it, to be honest. I'm just kind of
Yeah.
like, I'm done. I'm over it. So that's how I feel about it.
Wow. Well put. Well put. After Tron Ares, coming up later this month, we have Witcher Season 4, October 30th. This one is interesting. Have you ever played those games?
Yes.
Yes. I just started Witcher 3 recently,
Dude.
and I'm maybe like 8 hours in.
How about
I'm starting to
a game of
what?
Gwen?
Oh, hey, you want to play cards? How about we play some cards?
My favorite part of The Witcher 3 is it
Like
has
game
this
of
card
cards?
game in it, right? That's like a sub game. It's like a little game of Magic the Gathering, and you can like collect cards and play them. And you can interrupt like cutscenes to play Gwent. Like there's this one scene where like there's literally like this like dragon attacking the village, and you're like, you gotta help us. And then I select like, actually, I challenge you to Gwent. It's like always in the mood for Gwent.
Oh. Be prepared. I'm very good at Gwent. I'm really good at this game. That game sucks. Gwent
What?
does not make sense to me. It's a terrible game.
Oh, dude, I'm the Gwent master. We'll talk after.
I'll have to call you. Like, I'm literally going to call you on the phone next time I'm playing.
Yeah.
I don't understand. It did not explain itself well. I don't understand how you win a turn. When do you pass? When do you keep your cards? I don't know.
Yeah. There's a very specific strategy. It's like Magic, but there's only like one strategy. People are probably gonna come after me for that, but I can tell you, I can give you my strategy, and you'll win.
So, I'm playing Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
Yeah, it's super
having a blast, having a great time. I watched Witcher Season 1 and 2 when they came out without ever reading the books or playing the games. And they were fun. It was pretty cool. It was fine. Didn't watch Season 3. And now a Hemsworth is the main character. What are your thoughts on recast here?
Well, it's weird because Witcher is so scattered. Like there's the books, and then the adaptation, which is the TV show, and then the video game, which is based on the book. So the video game is separate from the show, so that you can kind of enjoy each on its own. Obviously, they're based on the same source material, but I don't know. The big dramatic thing was that Henry Cavill was like, did he leave? Was he fired? Difference of opinions, whatever.
Sure.
Has left the show. And he was such a big fan of that project. It's kind of bummer to see him go. And Liam Hemsworth, I feel like, has been a mid actor at this point. But to me, I just don't hold that franchise that closely. This isn't, they replaced Viggo Mortensen as Aragorn. So I don't hold it that tightly. So I'm not like, I don't know. I think the game, to me, personifies my favorite part of this world. It's like going on the monster hunts, figuring out what you need. And we get like those one-off episodes within the show where it's just like he's hunting, the certain thing. And that's really interesting. I love that kind of stuff. And I wish it was more Monster of the Week for that show. That it would just be like, all right, this time I'm taking down a vampire. Here we go. I got to get all this stuff. And then all these. But it's so much deeper than that because there's all these interesting creatures that we've never heard of that he's never, and he has to figure out how to kill them. But that's a really cool idea, and all the schools, the lore is fun. So I guess I'm excited for season 4 because I want more of the show, and I'm also not excited that they got Liam Hemsworth, but at the same time, I'm open because I just don't hold it that tightly.
Okay. Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably won't watch this season. unless I get like a real itch, like if I finish Witcher 3, the game, and I want to go back and rewatch it, or maybe just I'll approach season 4 on its own. That's a very likely possibility because I can tell why this game is like the best of the best. Is one of some people's favorite game. I think it was Game of the Year in 2015. So great game, great property, but hopefully Liam Hemsworth is not the fumble that it seems to be. Not him as a person, but just recasting.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel bad for him too because I know he's gonna get hate because
totally
Henry Cavill is a beloved actor who loves genre films. Yeah, he feels like one of us. You know, he's got all that nerd cred. You know, and so I don't know. I hope people give him a chance, and I hope he does well too, because I will be also very open if it's like, no, I don't like him. It's like, yeah, I will, go forward with that. All right. So now I want to start talking about a movie I am very excited for, which is The Running Man. This is the remake of the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. And this is directed by my boy, Edgar Wright, writer-director. Edgar Wright is from what we talked about quite often, the Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, World's End, but he also did Baby Driver. He did Last Night in Soho.
He's got quite the list. He's really
Scott
good.
Pilgrim versus the World. To me, it's also like he hasn't done that many videos. I mean, Shaun of the Dead. And then, so I mean, he's got like, what's like 7 somewhere in there, like director movies he's directed. And like his full control, like writer director. And I love all of these movies. Last Night in Soho, I think was not my jam, but I saw the quality of it to me. But
yeah, totally.
So I'm just really excited for this. And to me, like The Running Man, the previous one is based on this like kind of game show. It's a futuristic world where it's the stakes are just that, like it's life or death. So it's basically like a game show, but you have to do all those things. This one does seem like it's changing a bit because it seems like he's out not going through like a course. He's going like just through life, but he just has to survive. And so it's starring Glenn Powell, Emilia? Yeah, Emmy Jones. You know his face. He's from Fear the Walking Dead.
Oh, cool.
Oh, no. That's not who I was thinking of. That's the chick. I apologize. I can't remember the other guy's name. And Josh Brolin. So to me, this movie is a slam dunk. Love the writer-director. Love the actors. A remake of like an 80s movie. I'm totally on board for this.
Yeah. Man, it's going to be really, really fun. Emilia Jones, is that who you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't know how to pronounce Amelia?
Nope.
All right, we're moving on from that. Jeez. I think it's gonna be really fun. It looks hilarious. I remember very vividly you texted me this trailer and you're like, you all capitals, dude.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, what is this? What's going on?
And you're like, huh.
Saw the title of it and I was like, I responded before I watched it and I said, stop making 80s remakes. Yeah. It's over. I'm done. Like, can we just make an original movie, please? And then I watched the trailer and I was like, okay, that looks pretty fun, actually. That looks like a good one. So the trailer convinced me. I was anti this movie just conceptually. And I think I'm going to go see it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. This might be my next theater watch. I might see Tron. I said I was done with Tron. I still might go see it if I have a chance to. I don't think I will, but this is the one that I'm like, I've got to see it ASAP.
Yes.
Michael Cera's in it too. Delightful. I think we're going to get a Simon Pegg and Nick Frost cameo. I hope we do.
Oh, you think so? That'd be hilarious.
Yeah. He hasn't been that guy. I enjoy a person who does that. Like he'll throw his buddies into the films. But
Sam Raimi with Bruce Campbell.
Yeah. I was going to say like, well, Sam Raimi hasn't really been in these movies. Like, yeah. Bruce Campbell was Sam Raimi. There's a Sam.
Bruce Campbell
There's
is
a Sam
included.
Raimi cameo. It's like,
He's like,
huh?
hey.
You watch Alien?
So anyway, Spider-Man 4 was gonna be great.
Yeah.
All right. My movie, how I feel, what you feel for Running Man is what I feel for Predator Badlands, which comes out November 17th. I'm beyond pumped. I love Alien. If that's the first time you've heard that, welcome to this podcast. This is obviously your first episode. But Predator franchise is historically connected, and they are connecting eventually with the current ongoing Alien franchise. It's confirmed. So it's going to be really great. There's a new trailer. I don't know if you've seen this one in the last few days.
No.
Starts off with him rolling through the trees. Okay. I don't want to spoil anything for you, Heath, because it's I know you're not a trailer guy, but it's a very good trailer. My main takeaway is that this young Predator is going to be an incredible actor. Like, he's going to be a real, genuine presence in the film. You'll be able to, like, this is hard to explain. The actor portraying him is giving a great performance. I think of Planet of the Apes. The actor portraying the CG creature is giving an incredible performance. They capture it, and then whoever does the visual effects is able to translate that to that digital character incredibly well. They're doing this for the Predator in this movie in a way that I didn't know was possible, that I wasn't expecting. And you can get a sense of that in the first 10 seconds of the trailer, because he falls through the trees and he rolls down on the ground and he's staring. You see his side profile, and he doesn't have his helmet on, but he's just staring at the ground, and he's incredibly angry. And you see, like, the shaking and jaw clenching and like his little minute, like, facial features changing, and you feel the tension. And I was like, oh, this is going to be great. So I was nervous and I think apprehensive for the Predator just being a stone cold character, and the synth having to carry the human, like the connecting performance, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I think that's not going to be the case. They're gonna dip into the territory of Planet of the Apes, and we're going to be connecting with this non-human character in a really fun way. So Dek is the Predator, and Thea is the synth, and it's just them. They're the only two characters in a world full of the deadliest monsters in the universe, and it's going to be a really, really fun time.
Yeah, I am really excited about this. This is directed by Dan Trachtenberg. This is his first movie, his first directed movie. So that's exciting. So we have no kind of open-ended. To me, this is cool because it's not an Alien versus Predator movie, but it is very connected, obviously, with a lot of Weyland-Yutani stuff. But to me, this is also, I have a lot lower bar for Predator movies. I think there's been a lot more wins than even Alien, but I still always enjoy them. So it's cool because I have high hopes, but I also don't need this to be crazy good. I really enjoyed Prey. And so to me, I'm just kind of like, yeah, just show us the next one. You know, I'm ready for it.
Yeah. Okay. Minor, what's the word? Correction. This is not his first directorial movie. He did Prey. So he's done, Trachtenberg has done Prey, and he did 10 Cloverfield Lane, and he did Killer of Killers, which is, he directed the animated show that came out a few months ago. So that's really great. If you liked Prey, then we're going to be balling with that kind of stuff.
Apologize. Yeah, for some reason it just said on my list that Badlands is the only one. I must be looking at a wrong list.
The only reason that flagged for me is because the trailer that I'm talking about starts with, from the director of Prey, 10 Cloverfield Lane, and Predator Killer Killers. And I was like, oh, I remember this. So that's the only reason I caught that. I'm super not familiar with him.
What was that interesting?
Yeah.
I'm going to cut you off and say it's interesting.
Well, that's interesting.
No, yeah, I apologize, but yeah, I was looking at the wrong list there. But yes, you're right. And so 10 Cloverfield Lane was his first movie.
Yeah, it appears so.
And I didn't realize, but he's also done some episodes of TV for The Boys and Black Mirror. And then you're right, yeah, then he directed Prey. I think it was because that was a streaming movie, and Killer of Killers. So a little different list there. But so this is really the first movie he's done since 2016. Like, that's really interesting. He's still doing a lot of stuff. Prey, I guess, I mean, I apologize. You'd say Prey, but that was such a weird thing because that was in straight to Hulu.
Yeah, straight to streaming. It was, I mean, classic horror movie, 90 minutes long kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was, the quality of it was cinema, like going to cinema movie, like big production studio movie. And that's what really made him stand out to me, right?
Yeah.
That's one of the aspects that made that movie really, really great. I was like, I get this for $5? What's happening? So
yeah. And I think this
Pretty
sometimes
great.
too that I love about horror is just like that's all it needs to be, right? It's just giving us a good, clean, quick story. So
yeah.
all right. Well, I think we should move on
Yeah.
to our
November
main
17th.
news here, but we'll talk more
Let's
as it
do
goes
it.
out. But yeah, I'm excited for Fallout Season 2 is coming out. That's probably the next thing in December that I'm excited for.
Mhm.
Really enjoyed Season 1. So yeah, I just want to jump into Chronicles of Narnia here. I am really excited for this movie because I love the series so much. There's some stuff I'm nervous about, but let's just break down all the news we know so far.
Perfect.
So, Andrew, you have read C.S. Lewis previously, but this was the first time you just read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe for the first time days ago.
Yes,
correct?
To prep for this. Absolutely.
Which is, we had that little back and forth, and I was like, you got to binge the audiobook. It's what, 3 hours?
Yeah, I started it during nap time for my toddler, and it was done before he woke up. He's a great sleeper.
That's awesome. So
yeah, I listened to the whole thing.
So before we get into the movie news and breakdown, I would love to just hear what was your thoughts of reading The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe for the first time?
It was great. I loved how short it was. He doesn't waste any time. It was just straight up, these kids are in this house because of bomb raids from the war. Anyway, they're running around the halls because they're brothers and sisters and they're having fun. And I was like, oh, cool. Okay. So I love the pacing of it. It had my attention the entire time. The characters immediately, like, it was almost like their first line or two written dialogue tells me so much about who they are and what I can expect from them. And that's exactly what happens. So it doesn't feel like, oh, Edmund is going to be this type of character and now it ruins it and I'm not surprised. It feels like fulfilling, right? When Edmund like turns out to be a little rat and then I know it. I was like, I knew it. I hated you.
Yeah.
No, it was really good. I liked the ending. There was a point where I was crying.
Yeah, what part you exactly that? But I wanted to hear what part were you crying?
Oh yeah, when they're talking to the Beaver family, and it's the classic. Everyone, I have heard people talk about this line before, but it's just a classic scene that I finally got to like hear acted out. Right, it was a full production audiobook, and it was just beautiful. Like Lucy being like, oh, she's gaining knowledge, awareness of who Aslan is, and sounds incredibly terrifying to her. And she's like, but is he safe though? And his ultimate response, Mr. Beaver's response is safe. And then he like chuckles. Oh no, he's not safe, but he's good. And then there's like spurs into their like adoration for Aslan and how like he takes care of them and they don't see him all the time, but like the effects of Aslan are felt throughout the forest. He's the king of the forest, and it was just beautiful. I got shivers and I started crying a little bit. Yeah, and then the sacrifice that made me cry a second time. I'm a crier. Yeah. So when he actually it wasn't even at the stone table. What made me cry a little bit was afterwards when he's resurrected, and I think it's even after the battle, and someone says like, "Hey, should we tell Edmund what Aslan did for him specifically?" And they're like, "No, it's okay. Edmund has experienced redemption. Essentially, Edmund has been redeemed, and there's no reason to remind him or tell him more of the suffering that was had on his behalf."
Yeah.
And I just love that. I got me too. I was like, "Oh." So
Yeah.
it was a beautiful story. It was really, really good.
That's awesome. Dude, I'm glad that you liked it, and it's cool to hear you talk about it for the first time, because I was like, oh man, I wish I could go
Yeah.
back and reread that. That's one of those books. They're fun. They're children's books. I go check out my other podcast, In Bad Company, because I just interviewed
Hey,
a
there you
C.S.
go.
Lewis professor, Jerry Root, that we got to see together. But I talked to him about his favorite Narnia book, and it's The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, which you haven't gotten to yet. But in that, one of the characters reads a story within the story. She reads a story that's for the refreshment of the spirit. And she reads that book, and she just feels lighter. She feels like joy again. And it's a refreshing of her soul. And to me, like, the Chronicles of Narnia are that. Like, they're books
nice.
for kids, but they are just a refresher to the soul. And I just think that is such a cool thing. And Lewis is such a cool writer. He's so accessible. And I'm really excited to read my kids those stories. Like,
yeah,
I think those are probably going to be some of the first ones we go over, And one of my youth pastor always said something really interesting, is he felt, because during the time of the Chronicles of Narnia, the previous movie we've had through Disney, he's like, I think that movie portrayed the death of Aslan, who represents Jesus. I think that was a better representation than the Passion of the Christ for what actually happened.
Whoa.
And I think it's just the whole point of the Lewis thing. And, I'm not trying to compare the movies, because they're very different, but just like Passion of the Christ is probably accurate, but it just shows the physical of what actually took place. But then the Chronicles of Narnia shows the metaphorical of what Jesus did, and I think that's so cool to see. So that's why I love those stories. And to me, I'm someone, as I've matured in my ancient age,
yes, yeah.
This will never ruin the books. This iteration of the Netflix movie, it's not going to ruin the story for me. I'm not going to say I'm done with these books now. They can be terrible. They can mess up the story horribly, and that's a bummer. But it's going to be okay.
So. It's still, those books are still refreshing to you. You can hang on to.
Yes, exactly. So that being said, I want to kind of dive into some of the information we have. So it's directed by Greta Gerwig. And this is, the director of Barbie, which is really interesting. I know a lot of people, there's a lot of hate going around, and it's just like, that's kind of the age we're at. So it's just like, for me, I'm like, I take this as a good director doing a movie, I'll give it a chance. But I know a lot of people are like, I didn't like Barbie, blah, 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 whatever. And just like, it made a lot of money. It's a good director or whatever. Still willing to give it a chance, but I understand that. There's another thing that's got me a little, interesting. So Greta Gerwig is directing seemingly at least 2 of the Narnia films. They're starting with The Magician's Nephew, which is shooting right now. They've never done this iteration. They've always started every time there's an adaptation, every time there's been a live action adaptation. So they had like an original BBC TV show, which I've seen, is on YouTube. Go check it out. And then they've got the Disney one. So no one has ever live actioned this story before. So this is before The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. It's a smaller story, and this is not a show. It's a Netflix movie. And actually, as of right now, it's going to have a theater run. So we'll see, because they said the same thing with Prime movies. We talked about the remake of, what's that Jake Gyllenhaal bouncer movie? We talked about it a lot.
I know exactly what you're talking
Patrick
about.
Swayze.
Roadhouse.
I apologize. That was the big thing with that, is the director is like, you said this was a Amazon Studios production that was going to get a full theater release. He's like, I shot it for the theater. I did the sound design for the theater, and then you threw it right up on Prime.
Yeah.
So that was kind of an interesting thing. So I do think, yes, it's supposed to be a theater release, but I don't really believe that until it's like
So you
AMC's
get a
got it
ticket in
listed.
your hand.
Yeah, exactly. So it's shooting right now, so we will see it. Some interesting thoughts I have. So, well, they've got the main characters listed. I'm not seeing any confirmation of this yet, but they're supposedly saying, this is the hot button thing, that Meryl Streep is voicing Aslan.
Yeah.
Which is quite an odd choice, to be honest. I think, what do you think about that? Let's start there.
Man, I don't know that I would do Meryl Streep. I think that you and I are probably a slightly different opinion. Okay, listen. I am pro diverse representation of your metaphorical Jesus. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We represent Jesus metaphorically as people have done it for thousands of years, 2,000 years. And as long as you don't dip into iconography where that icon becomes Christ, I don't have a problem with it. So, white Jesus, I understand where that comes from. White people, European people will represent Jesus in a way that they can connect with. The same goes for black Jesus. African people will do that, right? The same goes for Korean Jesus, right? Like, there's some extent
21 Jump Street.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah. I was going to say, there's some extent to this that is like a joke. It's like a meme, but it's a reality. Cultures across the globe represent Jesus Christ in a way that they can relate to. What I think has been missing for a long time is the fact that, like, women, generally speaking, do not have the same opportunity to connect with the metaphorical Jesus that men do, because Jesus was an actual physical man and is now, like, still. Now we're getting into theology.
Right.
I will digress. My point is, if we're going to portray a Jesus Christ Messiah figure, I'm okay with it being a woman. That's okay with me. Would I choose Meryl Streep? No, I don't think so. So my issue is Meryl Streep specifically, and not that it's a lady.
I love the way you say that, because honestly, take all the theology, the Christianity away.
Yeah.
Do I want Meryl Streep to voice a male lion? No. Like, so that's it for me. And I think that's all I have to say. It's an odd choice. I think for me, it's the male-female thing of the animal. Like, are they going to have it be a lioness? Maybe.
Right. So, like, if you're
and
gonna,
that's not heresy. I don't care what you are.
It's a
like,
lion. Like,
it's a lion. So it's just, to me, it's like, it's odd they would change it, and I think that's going to ruffle a lot of feathers. But
sure.
It's like, that's not Jesus, though. Aslan is.
It's never been Jesus. Aslan was never Jesus.
Yeah, and it's like, if it's not insulting to represent Jesus as a lion, could it be a female lion? I agree with you. I know it's gonna,
but
a lot of people off.
I see what you're saying. Like, if the written character of Aslan is a male and a female is going to voice that character, do you change? Like, you're making a creative decision with the voice, right?
Right.
Do you change the character to be a lioness?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you just say whatever and have, like, a mane, like a lion with a mane who's a male lion represent the Messiah, but the voice is Meryl Streep? I think that would be a bad decision.
Yeah.
I think if Meryl Streep is going to voice Aslan, the Aslan character, that it needs to be a female lion.
Yeah. And I think, to me, I've never been a huge Meryl Streep fan in general. And to me, that's someone that's so iconic that you know who it is. I don't know. I think, honestly, in hindsight, Liam Neeson did the Disney ones, and that was so great. But that was perfect. And so I think, I don't know, I feel like you need a different quality voice the Meryl Streep. I've always found, I don't know. I don't want to judge another actor. I'm not,
No.
I'm not
So
an
we
actor
can talk
myself,
about it
but
from source material aspect, right? I've
Mhm.
listened to one book. So I've consumed one book. Aslan is in that book. Maybe it's the acting of the person who portrayed Aslan, but I do feel like the character written on the pages is a warm, deep, comforting, strong presence. So how are you going to have Meryl Streep? I think that she might have the chops to do that, right? She's a legendary actor. Will she portray Aslan as a warm, comforting, deep, and thoughtful animal?
Yeah.
Or again, are we just changing stuff now where like Aslan is a bit higher energy and like talks in the upper register because Meryl Streep, like what kinds of changes are there going to be just because you're changing the voice actor?
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Someone needs to do a cut of the Chronicles of Narnia Disney version with Meryl Streep over it, but it's just like her
Yeah.
from Devil Wears Prada. It's, get me Armani. It's just like the lion. It would be so funny.
Is Aslan gets up, the sun is rising, and he rises over the stone table. Get me Armani.
I'm so much better than you. All I'm quoting from Devil Wears Prada is the lines that Michael Scott quotes, so I apologize if they're not accurate.
Oh, whoops.
Yes, I think it's weird. I feel like we're still in this era of changing stuff just to be different, and the diversity is a cool thing, but it does kind of feel like what a weird idea of like there's a male lion going to be voiced by Meryl Streep. Like that is such a weird thing to say. But we also are like, do they say that just to get people riled up, just to be talking about it? Is it going to happen? I don't know. There's another example too of a voice change I found very interesting is it's necessary when to change voices based on how it feels. And the Voyage of the Dawn Treader changed voice actors. So the Reap Cheap the Mouse. Did you ever see the Voyage of the Dawn Treader?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you can actually look this up. The original trailer, Reap Cheap the Mouse was voiced by Bill Nye.
Okay. Not the science guy.
No.
The actor.
Davy Jones. And then it was replaced by Simon Pegg. So two very different sounding actors, but you can go watch these trailers and it was just a style. They just didn't feel it. And actually it was voiced by, what's that guy's name from the Prince Caspian, the Reap Cheap was the same, character was voiced by someone completely different as well. So it was
interesting.
That was, I think, we couldn't get the actor again. They didn't want to do it again kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Typical actor issue. And then the second one was the second time that character came up. It was they just didn't feel right. They just didn't like how that was, which like Bill Nye is such a great actor, voice actor.
Yeah.
And so is Simon Pegg. And so to me, it's not about the quality of the actor. It's about what feels right. And so I hope that they're giving the same attention and care to this. Is Meryl Streep portraying a lion? Does that work in this movie? I will say this because you haven't read the Magician's Nephew, and it's never been in a live action thing. So this is probably the story that most people are the least familiar with. Aslan is not very prevalent in this story.
Okay.
He comes in at most the last third. Now, I don't know if they're going to change that, but this story really is about two children, Diggory and Polly. And they go into this. It's a really cool story that if you want, I can kind of break it down. But so Aslan is not as prevalent, even as much as The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which same thing he kind of enters in the last part. But I don't know how important it is to this story, to be honest. But like I said, I hope they do what's best for the movie and what feels right.
Yeah, it would almost feel better if they said Aslan will be a lioness instead of Aslan will be portrayed by this female voice actress.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
still gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
Oh yeah, of course. And it's like if Aslan is a lioness and awesome, like cool.
Mhm.
Like whatever. It's just I don't know why that breaks people to be like they changed the gender of a lion that represents a
Yeah, who's the
figurative,
Messiah character?
yeah, as
Mhm.
a it's like it's something that does wear on me because it's not the gender swapping or race swapping that bothers me. It's that's what makes the only change, or that's the only reason we are apparently doing this, you know?
Right.
To me,
Hmm.
it needs to show this, which to me this is the first time we've seen this movie made, this book being adapted. So like I'm all for
Win.
that for
Yeah.
sure.
Hmm.
Um so this movie, I will give a quick little synopsis just because of people who maybe have not read this book yet,
Sure.
and who are familiar with the Chronicles of Narnia. So basically, this is way before Chronicles of Narnia, like decades before, um, and it's about these two kids that the uncle of Diggory has these magic rings that he creates, and they take him to other worlds. Yeah, the
Oh,
ring,
okay.
right?
I
So
was like, magic rings.
this is a pretty sweet story. It's a lot deeper than you think it is because it's not just a walk in. So basically, these two rings, they have a yellow ring and a green ring, and you touch one of the rings, and it takes you to this other world, but it's actually a world between worlds. And in this place, if you put on the other ring, you can go into all these endless pools and go into
Hmm.
other worlds. So that's the kind of setup for the journey of this story. And like it's a big story. It's a small story in characters because it's just like a couple characters, two, three characters at a time, kind of
Yeah.
starting off, kids just going on an adventure, and then they open up into this like you can go into all the multiverse basically, which is really cool. And one of those worlds happens to be Narnia. Uh,
Oh,
yeah, so really cool
that will be
concept.
really fun to see. That'll
Yeah.
be a really fun. Wow.
Yeah, so it's really cool. So you've seen the original movies,
Yeah.
the Disney adaptions.
Hmm.
I was just curious, like, what do you think now that you've read the book, what's
Hmm.
some things that you're like, I hope they get this right about these new adaptions?
Oh man. Okay. First reaction, very early into the book, Lucy is with Mr. Tumnus,
Mm-hmm.
right? In his little house. This is a strength of the original, not the original, the first movie adaptations that I felt was better than the book, just an aspect of it. Um so Lucy's having tea and like kind of falls asleep in Mr. Tumnus's house, and I'm not totally looking up someone's name right now. James McAvoy was a great Mr. Tumnus in the movie.
Yeah.
He portrays that scene so hauntingly. I loved it. It's been years since I've seen that movie, but his performance and the music like shifting as Lucy is like, "But what have you done wrong?" And he's like, "I've kidnapped you." And like that whole scene genuinely scared me as a child. I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
"Oh no." And she's like, "You haven't kidnapped anyone." And he's like, "I have. I'm doing it right
Yeah.
now." Um it's a little bit scary in the book, children's book, right? But I hope that they do more of that kind of stuff where they lean into with this adaptation. I hope that the director Greta Gerwig will lean into more like, hey, this is conceptually very frightening, and
Yeah.
we can let it be a little bit more frightening than the books allowed it to be. I'm hopeful for that. Strength of the book over the expressions like the movies that we have so far. I think that the books did a better job of redemption than the movies did. By the time the end of the the wardrobe, Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe, happens, not only is there forgiveness of Edmund, but very specifically says that he has grown to be a patient and wise counselor. Like he's the one now who has not just learned from mistakes, but learned from his mistakes and grown to be the one of the four who is like of sound judgment, essentially. And I don't think that was really portrayed at all in the movies, even when they go back. So they spend a bunch of years in Narnia, right? Like decades together as siblings, princes and princesses. And then they go back to the room and fall back into being children. Then the second movie comes along and there's still kind of some hate towards Edmund, like from his siblings. And like that, I don't think that should exist. Like there should be no leftover stuff from that. Maybe I'm missing something from not reading the next book, but I remember that very specifically. I thought the book handled like redemption and forgiveness much better.
Yeah. No, and I think you're right. And it's cool as the story progresses, which we don't get a lot of time. So I'm hoping we have more, they can focus on different things. But yeah, Edmund becomes such a voice of reason, which is cool. And there's a moment in Prince Caspian, the next book, where no one is listening to Lucy. And he's like, guys, remember what happened last time we didn't listen to Lucy? Like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to trust her because I should have trusted her the whole time. Like, we need to trust her. And it's just such a cool part because of that growth. And I think that's why it's so, it's these kid stories, but you're right. There's that element of horror. And I think my main thing is you have to do the kids have to be done well. Yeah, they have to be like likable, but show these developments because these are real things they're struggling with, and they choose these adventures and they're scary, but then doing the right thing. And I do want to give Edmund a little bit of credit because the big joke has always been that he betrayed his family for Turkish Delight.
Yeah.
Which it was power and Turkish Delight. So let's focus on the power. But also Turkish Delight. Have you ever had Turkish Delight?
No, I've heard it's terrible.
It's like a giant jelly bean with powdered sugar on it. That's what the consistency of. It's like a jellied. It's weird. It's not good. But replace that with your favorite candy.
Yeah.
Okay. But here's something I just realized this week in looking stuff up for this episode. You ready for this little nugget?
Okay, I'm ready.
World War II, right?
Yeah.
These kids are in war-torn London. That's why they have to go out. Do you know what's happening in London during these air raids?
They're rationing food.
Ration. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that is such a cool way to view this. It's like, it's not just a kid being like, I just wanted some candy. Like, this is a kid who never gets candy.
Correct.
Okay?
Also, been like years.
Yeah. And so it's just like, that's such a cool thing that like Lewis put in there. It's like, these books are so deep for how like short and quick they are. And C.S. Lewis does this all the time. He'll say a sentence and you're like, you just can't brush past that. Let me meditate on that for 7 days. But I thought that was a really fun tidbit that you apparently
that's
Mr. Teacher already knew about the war rationing, but I just found out about that and I thought that was really cool.
I remember that part of the book and I was like, oh, that makes sense. Like
you just immediately got it.
Yeah, well,
because of sugar.
I'm not only am I a teacher, I teach Bible and I teach that context determines meaning. So every time I come across a line in a movie or a book that I go, I don't know if I quite understand that, I always go back to context of the characters, context of the authors.
Wow.
So that I picked up on that pretty quick.
Has meaning. I like
context determines meaning.
And your focus determines your reality. Say that again.
If you want to find out
the real line.
Context determines meaning. If you want to find out what something means, you have to know the context, right?
That's cool.
I can teach you some. Anyway, so
that'll preach.
I thought the sugar ration, I wouldn't have been able to say that specifically, but I was able to pick up on, yes, there's power. He wants to be essentially the big brother, right? He wants to have the authority that Peter has. But there's the reality that like it's been multiple years since he's had candy, and for any child, the candy is enough. The candy is plenty.
Yeah.
You don't need to tempt him with power. The candy will do it. So I like that both of them are there. But you could maybe correct me on this. C.S. Lewis was alive during both World Wars. Yes, I don't know how old he was or when he died.
So he actually died the day JFK was assassinated. Very strangely, which is kind of always a sad point because he kind of died and it wasn't brought up. It wasn't a main headline because the JFK thing was obviously so tragic.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's when he died. So yeah, he was not, I don't know, he was in World War I. So yeah, him and Tolkien fought in World War I.
Yeah. Okay. So this is like stuff, the inclusion of like a child being swayed by candy because of the sugar ration. That's stuff that he would put in there just because he lived through it. And that's the kind of context that is beautiful when authors can put in little bits of flavor for like their own experiences. It just adds such, like what you said, depth to what they're writing. It's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, which we could talk a lot more about the books in general. I'm excited to keep talking about this. I'm excited to see a trailer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's a lot. My hopes are high. I think a lot of people are, oh no, don't ruin it. But once again, I'm the person there was a time when if you were a Lord of the Rings fan, all you had was that weird cartoon. And that was like, it was still a fun part of it, you know? And I think let's just celebrate different iterations. And if it's garbage, don't watch it. Move on, you know?
Take the Hobbit CD out of your DVD player.
Yeah.
Put in the series that has won 17 Oscars.
Yes.
And start with the Fellowship of the Ring. Okay.
Rage. I just think I am hopeful. And for what I was trying to kind of come back to is this is the first adaptation we've ever had of The Magician's Nephew. That's something really exciting. And I like, hey, now we have something to compare it to, which is fun. Like when they reboot it again.
Yeah, inevitable.
It'll be like, oh, well, this is a lot better than the Greta Gerwig. It's like, oh, the Greta Gerwig really had it, you know, on lock. And so yeah, I am excited for it. We'll see where it goes. But any kind of following things or anything, I guess we kind of talked about a lot of it. Any hopes you have for those movies or?
Oh, dude, I'm going to finish those books though. I'm going to keep reading them.
You should. Yeah, they're great. Yeah. The radio, is it radio theater? It's kind of like they did it as it's basically graphic audio before that was the term. But it's a fully casted thing. You can't buy them anywhere or you can't get them digitally anywhere. It's only on CD. So find them if you can, but those are really fun adaptions. But even on audiobooks, once again, like the whole Narnia series, I think it's like 15, 16 hours total for like all 7 of them. So it's a very, very easy read. But
worth it.
Worth it.
All right. Heath, can I take us home?
Take us home, Andrew.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching and listening. Coming home.
End episode 66.
You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Follow us there. Subscribe there. What? YouTube. Yep. We're falling apart. We'll see you next week. As always, go see a movie.
Go see a movie.
Yep.
What's he say?
Yep.
What's he whisper? I can't think of the song. That's it.